seconds. Okay, now we're streaming. Alright, everybody, so this is a live severe weather briefing on the multi-day severe weather episode, I guess you can say.
Outbreak.
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
So, the Storm Prediction Center, guys, just updated, and you guys need to be paying attention if you live in any of these risk areas tomorrow, all right? Especially later in the day. This enhanced risk area from Illinois to western Ohio to southern Michigan down into portions of the Arklamis region and parts of Tennessee, and also in the slight risk region. And look at this tornado threat.
Yeah.
There you go. So, if you guys are wondering what these black short lines are, that indicates a significant potential for tornadoes, which means F2 potential or greater. And the SPC uses strong wording, actually, for the possibility of strong, long-lived tornadoes in that region.
Yeah, they also do mention a potential for a moderate risk upgrade. But if you're in those enhanced risk areas, if you are under a moderate risk, and more than likely will be for wind, but I would not be surprised if we can definitely see discrete mode, then I'm a 15 significant for tornadoes.
I'm going this area, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, if the enhanced risk expands eastward, maybe something like, I don't know. It's too early to tell, but maybe Central Ohio for wind.
Yeah. There also be an elevate. So the wind threat, guys, for at least tomorrow is obviously the main course. For damaging straight line winds, and you could have damaging straight line winds from 60 to 70 miles per hour from eastern Texas to northern Ohio, Buffalo, New York, northern Michigan, well, northern central Michigan, that kind of area.
And in each risk area, that wind will likely be way more intense. So,
Also, for since this is a Great Lakes tracking account, for our specific areas in the northern mode, like Indiana, northern Illinois, Ohio, the tornado risk
yes.
has grown a small bit, but that's because some potential for some cells out in front of the line could be enhancing that tornado threat very slightly, and the potential for some embedded tornadoes within the line. That would be primarily kind of weak.
I mean, look at those cells tomorrow afternoon, guys. This is 2 p.m. CDT in Illinois and Indiana. I mean, look at those cells. Those are blowing up.
Yeah. Also, that morning convection in Ohio is actually starting to uptrend, at least in intensity, but more scattered. If you like really look into it in central Ohio.
Yeah. Like we're reporting from Ohio. If any of you viewers are from Ohio, we are going to have rain tomorrow morning, and it's going to be scattered at times. Some showers may be heavier. I am not, and I repeat myself, I am not anticipating any way of severe weather tomorrow morning. None.
Yeah.
Just rain. Not even thunder. Just rain. Southern Ohio might, but like northern Ohio, instability's too far south.
Yeah. It does look like the HRRR wants discrete cells, like really right near like the Kentucky, Illinois, Indiana, and Tennessee area.
This general area around 19Z. I mean, look at that. Those are intense. And if you overlap that with Cape, you do have plenty of it. Obviously, with northern extent, it gets less intense, but like over here, where there's a lot more moisture, look at that. Up to 2,000 almost joules per kilogram in parts of Michigan. Isn't that nuts, Char?
Yeah, that's pretty nuts.
So
I do want to say for other viewers, like especially near like in north central Ohio and Pennsylvania, we could see that 2% go more east, and I would not be surprised if we see that 5% go more east, because these
yeah,
prefrontals on the HRRR look pretty kind of robust, a bit more stronger.
they do. They do. They do. They really do. And I also did want to mention that these storms are going to be very tall. Like we could be talking about 40,000-foot cloud tops with these storms as they move into Illinois and Indiana. These would be probably big-time hail producers.
Yeah. I'm gonna load up the 060 to show them about the potential for a multi-round event.
Yeah, that's also possible. The latest models haven't been showing that, but last night's run, we kind of pulled an all-nighter. So,
Yeah.
and that run was just insanity.
Yeah, so if you look at the screen, guys, you can see you can see there's definitely multiple rounds, multiple chances of strong straight line damaging winds.
Char, I don't think we could see you.
Oh, uh, I mean on the stream because I'm showing the stream the thing.
Your profile picture is on the screen.
Oh,
Oh, never mind. I'm streaming from Twitter. Never mind. But no, yeah. Last night's run was crazy, and I don't know. Maybe some of the models could show it again later. But if it does show at 0Z, which is 8 p.m., we're probably gonna hop back on. Let's just say that.
yeah, because 00, so any weather enthusiast, the 00Z HRRR is like your most accurate model, but you know obviously it's a model. It can be wrong, of course. The last
Of course.
00Z for a morning event on the for the March 14th event was actually a big outlier.
Yeah.
So don't like put 100% trust in it. But 00Z on the HRRR is the most accurate.
Yeah. From basic or from past experiences.
Yeah.
Most past experiences. And I mean, into tomorrow afternoon, I mean, even ahead of the front, like any viewers from Ohio, Kentucky, you guys need to watch these cells. All right, my drawer is being stupid. All right, there we go. You guys need to watch those cells early tomorrow afternoon. All right, I don't think they're going to be nearly as severe as these ones, but you guys still need to watch these ones over here because these ones might go severe because of the surface-based instability in the atmosphere. And like you could see that.
Yep.
But again, guys, the most robust activity early tomorrow afternoon is definitely going to be in Illinois and Indiana. And if you guys are viewing from Illinois and Indiana, you guys do have the potential of seeing a long track tornado.
Yes, it is a very real possibility. Yeah,
Yes, those supercells are gonna get their energy. And look at the breaks in the cloud cover. That's really going to help with instability. should we mention the ice storm?
Oh yeah, I'm going to show that right now.
Yeah, guys, we do have an ice storm in the northern portion of the viewing area as a warm front stalls out and becomes a stationary front. And we will likely have snow in Canada, a snowstorm in Canada, an ice storm in southern Ontario, and thunderstorms in the southern and central portions of the region, of course. But the winter side of this could be definitely pretty impactful as well. And I mean, these are preliminary, but taking a look here, like at your ice accumulations, I don't know if we get 2 inches of ice in northern UP. I don't see that. But this could be a crippling ice storm for Wisconsin all the way eastward to Ontario.
Yeah, look at that, guys. A pretty significant ice accumulation from the UP, Michigan, northern central Michigan, also lower Ontario and Canada, and just Ontario, Canada in a whole. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I can't show it in millimeters because the pivotal weather doesn't have it in millimeters. So for Canadian viewers, you might need to actually for Canadian viewers, check our last X post on the Great Lakes account because it has the ice accumulation in millimeters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And guys, also need to mention the snowfall accumulations. Char, do you want to do this one?
Yeah, sure. So we could see some let me just pull it up here. Total snowfall amount. So yeah, we could have that's showing like 23 inches, but that's like over the lake.
Mm-hmm.
But we still can have some pretty good snowfall accumulate. Look at the UP in Michigan, and the lakes are melting and warming, so that can be lake enhanced. It's very possible if you get all your parameters, to really align, then you could see some of this localized enhancement up to 20 inches.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys do need to watch if you live in northern Wisconsin, central Minnesota, back into the upper part of Michigan, or the UP rather, into Ontario.
Yeah,
I haven't actually looked at the wind gusts yet, because obviously I want to know if this is going to be a blizzard or not. I don't think this is going to be.
though.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no worries about like a crippling blizzard or anything, but we could have gusty winds 30 miles an hour. Blowing snow will be a possibility, but I don't know if it breaches blizzard criteria. Right, Char?
Yeah, your greatest chance for potential heavy wording on potential blizzard conditions is with your biggest lake enhanced parts because that can cause some extra wind gusts, but no blizzard really.
Yeah. Yeah, this is just a heavy snow and heavy ice event.
Yeah.
Or heavy freezing rain event, rather. Yeah. And this is your warm front. You can obviously tell along there. Right where the rain separates with the freezing rain. Look at that. It just takes its good old time, Char.
Yeah, yeah.
As that second low pulls in. And there's your wind bag for Sunday evening. But no, we just wanted to update you guys that obviously this is going to be multi-hazard for the entire region. All right, the entire region is at least going to get some sort of impact, whether it's severe weather, ice, or heavy snow. All right, so just be prepared because somewhere is going to get like a really big impactful event, and that
Yeah.
could be all of them.
And guys, there.
Especially sorry.
Huh?
I said I apologize. Go ahead.
Oh wait, what were you gonna say?
severe weather pans out, it could get really bad.
Yes, so what I was gonna say is if you guys look on the YouTube stream, you can see that your energy helicity index and all of your shear values are very good now. Thankfully, it does not look like there's gonna be an environment for strong long track tornadoes in the northern Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, northern Indiana area. But this
Right.
definitely supports embedded tornadoes, so please be a bit cautionary of that, especially if you're in the 5%.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna run back to that. Can you see my screen, Char?
Yeah.
All right. Hopefully everyone else can. I'm going to go over the severe threat again, all right? Because this is one of the most important parts of the system and probably one of the most impactful. Not that the ice and snow isn't, but the severe weather is possibly going to be on another level. So there's your morning convection, which we call crapvection.
Yeah.
But that moves out. Look, I also wanted to point out this model likes to spit out a few cells across portions of western Indiana around like 10, 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. Did you see that, Char? Do you see that?
Is that the NAM or the H triple R?
That is a Shavar.
Oh, then yeah, I saw it.
Okay. And these storms get even more intense as we head in towards the early afternoon, guys. All right. So, like I said, if you're viewing from Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, I don't know, Wisconsin, you guys have at least a small risk of severe weather, with the greatest threat obviously being in Illinois and Indiana, but can't rule it out as far north as southern Wisconsin. And look at this. Look at this progression as we head in towards late tomorrow afternoon. All right. I mean, look at this. This turns into a full-blown squall line. And look at these prefrontals, guys. I mean, we could be dealing with supercells or Boeing segments ahead of the main line. All right, that's a surefire sign you have a outflow boundary right along this boundary, probably creating a shelf cloud as it moves in. So, also something else to keep an eye on is the possibility of QLCS tornadoes, as Char was mentioning, as we do have some storm relative helicity in the atmosphere. It's not prolific, but it's a decent amount. All right, it's almost 300 M2 S2 in a very favorable environment. So you guys really need to be paying attention to that. Your supercell composite isn't overly high either, but it still is modest. So you guys need to be paying close attention. And obviously your 0 to 3 kilometer cape, if this intense, this is obviously going to favor significant damaging wind threat. So this is very, very evident that damaging winds is the primary threat out of this, all right? And I did also want to mention, I'm not trying to scare you guys, but this could come through and cause damage, all right? And I was actually talking to Char earlier. We could definitely see a lot of power outages after this goes through.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, this could have as strong winds as maybe 80 miles an hour. 70 miles an hour will be very widespread. I can't stress that enough. 70-mile-per-hour straight line winds at the least along this area, with 60-mile-per-hour winds further north. And in those Boeing segments, you have the potential of getting up to 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and that is destructive territory, all right? It wouldn't matter if it's a tornado or straight line winds at that point, because QLCS tornadoes remain fairly weak most of the time.
Yeah. Also, Ethan, I don't know if you like saw it this much in depth, but for the line in Indiana into northern Ohio, you can see around like on 12Z, the 12Z run around 00Z, you can see kinks in the line that shows QLCS tornadoes.
0Z.
Yeah, 0Z on the 12Z run.
You could see that. You could see that. Yeah, you could see that. My screen's blurry, sorry, but you could see that. I mean, you could see the kinks in the line. Like right there, there's one. There's another one. There's another one in Michigan. I mean, this is gonna be hectic, guys. All right, maybe we're not in the highest threat, which we could be soon, but I mean, this is probably going to be enhanced risk territory severe weather, so be prepared.
Yes.
And also, would you look at those cells in Ohio?
Yeah, look at those.
Eastern Ohio. Look at those showing off.
That's really yeah.
Yeah, they're showing off. I can zoom in. I could try to zoom in a little bit more. You can see the kinks in the line a little bit there. I was wanting to get it a little bit further east, but apparently isn't going to let me do that at the moment. So, all right, there we go. All right, you guys can see there's your cells, very isolated in eastern Ohio. Obviously, this can shift, but the models have been very consistent in showing prefrontals very consistently from 6Z to 12Z, and even on the incoming 18Z could potentially show prefrontals. But bottom line, I want you guys to just know that this is going to be the primary threat, this squall line right here. This is going to have a ton of wind with it. This is going to have probably a lot of lightning with it and loud thunder. Very loud thunder.
Actually, on the if you actually get, I don't know if you have access to this, but on Pivotal Weather, I think it like requires premium. But if you like click the specific Ohio sector, actually I can show you this on my camera if I flip it. Look at
Yeah.
those kinks.
Yeah, very, very noticeable. And I mean, there's one right there. I mean,
Yeah,
they're not hard to see. I mean, you could see another one right there in Northwest Ohio, Central. They're all over the place, all right? There is no doubt in my mind we will have a significant wind event in Ohio, Indiana, and possibly Illinois. Illinois is leaning more towards tornadoes and hail, it looks like, but Indiana and Ohio, you guys have a big wind event coming your way tomorrow, so be sure you're staying weather aware, have phone alerts on, pay attention to your local National Weather Service. Obviously, we're going to be paying attention here to National Weather Service Cleveland, and if you guys are over here, let's say in Indiana, pay attention to National Weather Service ILWX or something like that.
yeah, something like that.
Something like that, yeah. And down here, if you live in Southwest Ohio, pay attention to National Weather Service Wilmington. So those are your areas to pay attention to. All right, Ohio is the big wind state. It looks like right now.
Yep.
It does, and Indiana.
I do want to say the HRRR still does show, maybe not for like our specific area, but it still does show like what do you call it? What it,
Multi-round.
yeah, if you look near like Fort Wayne, Indiana, which is like near the northern Ohio border, you can see it there. It's definitely split. So, guys, if you're anywhere in these areas that we literally just set off, especially Ethan, when like a line passes, you may not be done yet, potentially.
Yes, and that's another thing I did want to mention. You guys will not be done in some areas, especially in Indiana, all right? Once this first line goes through, you got the main line to go through, all right? The main line looks to be the most prolific one, or I'm sorry, the most potent one in terms of the wind. This one could have damaging winds as well, though, so be sure you're weather aware. Handed it over to you, Chuck.
I totally agree. So yeah, I do want to do a sounding for those prefrontals.
Yeah, yeah. Do a sounding real quick. That's a good idea. That's a really good idea.
Yeah. All right, let's do this view sounding.
It's gonna probably look really interesting.
It's actually less. That's less than I thought.
Oh,
It says like
what is it?
700 Cape. Your shears a little bit less. But wow, your lapse rates are still uptrending.
The lapse rates are up trending.
Yeah,
Okay.
which that
So
does support more more threat
So
for the hail.
yes, it does. And large hail is going to be a pretty big deal across Illinois. I could see baseball size hail, maybe.
Yeah, it's very possible, especially down in the Ohio Valley.
Yeah, and actually, that's the sector I'm looking at right now.
Uh,
Pivotal weather always is so slow for me on my iPad, so I don't really use it unless, I really want to, and I really want to right now, so let's
okay,
just use it real quick.
for one of those for that big prefrontal cell in eastern Ohio, it does have a pretty good sounding profile.
Yeah, and that's another thing I mentioned. If you guys are online, we were making jokes about this earlier and see like a post about BAM weather or something,
Oh yeah.
uh, and a low and a low end threat in eastern Ohio, don't listen to them because they don't have the latest model data yet.
Yeah, they don't have the latest model data.
And either does a few meteorologists in far eastern Ohio. They disagree that we're going to have even severe weather at all. All right, I'm not going to call out names or anything, of course, but it's ridiculous that people are trying to underestimate this. Hyping is worse, but underestimating is still bad.
Yeah.
Bad enough.
Yeah, on the in front of these kings on the your main line, you actually have your best win profiles for the whole event. So that's actually pretty crazy. So the QLCS threat definitely your win threats obviously that your biggest concern, but those QLCS embedded tornadoes, those are something to really watch the trends at
I
2000
just
Cape.
I just took a sounding out ahead of that line in western Ohio. And you can see here, surface-based Cape, 2,000 joules per kilogram, guys. Surface-based Cape, I repeat, surface-based Cape, 2,026 joules per kilogram. And there's barely a cap in the atmosphere. Storms will not have a hard time getting going. I repeat that.
Yeah.
Storms will not have a hard time. And the lapse rates, look at this. You got 7 degrees Celsius per kilometer surface to 3 kilometer low level lapse rates. So they're uptrending. That is going to increase your hail threat. And there actually could be a hail threat with some cells. Actually, I actually forgot about that. There could actually be a little bit of a hail threat within the line as well, especially any cells that could really mature. Um, in there. The autographs ahead of this aren't very good. Maybe we'll see that upgrade later, but for now, it's showing just a straight line wind profile, severe. So that's still bad though. So make sure you're staying weather aware. This is the main line though, all right, and this is the one I'm concerned about. Isn't the main line the one you're mainly concerned about, Char, or are you concerned about like the first one the most, or?
I'm concerned about the main one because because that's gonna be along the cold front. The cold front usually enhances the wind and also all modes, especially with the shear.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be your main wind bag.
Yes, it's going to be a win back. And speaking of, I don't want to get too detailed with this, but I can't rule out a derecho, especially in the southern portion of the Great Lakes. I cannot rule out a derecho.
It's very possible.
Yeah, especially if there's a long track line that produces swaths of 60 plus winds for 200 miles or more. It's very possible from state to state. Look at that. Illinois, it stays content. It stays intense into Indiana, stays intense into Ohio, stays intense into PA. And look at that, Kentucky, early Monday morning. Look at that. That could be a really dangerous squall line too. So you guys could have a third round down here in Kentucky. So that's going to be something to keep an eye on top of the prefrontals you might have. So
Holy, okay,
it's
Ethan, I'm gonna show you. So I pulled a sounding in Indiana, I think. Look at that photograph.
Oh my gosh, that looks PDS to me.
It's actually a regular tornado on Ellie's College AD page.
The lapse rate. Wait, is it the lapse rates that are preventing it from going PDS?
No, oh my, dude, your lapse rates are almost at if it didn't blur, but it's almost at 7.
Wow.
So I don't know. I
Yeah.
think it's your cape maybe, or your 3 cape's pretty good. Actually, I don't even know why it did not go PD.
3 cape is like substantial.
Yeah.
And also, I did want to mention, before I forget, that any tornadoes we have could be rain wrapped because of the precipitable water values. I mean, look at that 1.57 in Indiana, and look at that 1 inches all the way into Michigan. All right, granted, not everyone's going to get a tornado, but all tornadoes that develop, guys, even if QLCS, will be rain wrapped. I repeat, will be rain wrapped. So don't wait until you see or hear the tornado. You got to get to your safety spot if a warning obviously gets issued, because like I said, rain wrapped tornadoes are likeliest. Or most likely, I meant. Char, don't you agree we could have rain wrapped tornadoes?
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, that's what I was mentioning, the precipitable water values, but I mean, look at your low level jet. I mean, look, 50 knots along that squall line. I mean, you could tell where the squall line is. You could easily tell where that first line is. There's your second line right there. Look at that, 60 knots of low level jet. This is why we're concerned about the main line the most, because this has the most low level energy.
Yeah.
And it also has the most cape. So there's that. There.
Also, we do have a severe threat for Wednesday, which looks way more substantial than this.
Yes, and that one looks also a bit more tornadic. Yeah.
Yeah.
I am going to take a sounding on this cell right here in Southwest Ohio. I wonder what it's going to show, because the storm relative helicity is almost maxed out on that one cell. That would just be nuts. Lapse rates aren't good. Tor. All right, I'm getting soundings of tornadoes along this line in Ohio and Kentucky.
Yeah, the Indiana. I mean, for all the areas of severe weather, even down in the Arkansas, in front of that line, you're getting tornado soundings.
Yes, and that's a very, very, very strong sign of QLCS tornadoes.
Yeah.
What did Northeast Ohio WX just post?
Um, I'm checking it right now.
Bruh, he just said hype. Bruh. What in the world could he have said?
Oh, look at he sent a post.
Oh, jeez. Let's see. Let's see.
It circled us. The post circled our area. Small but well balanced, thick thermodynamics photographs profiles overlap greatest, forcing a synoptic variability. Significant tornado spot. What?
What?
It has sig tours in Ohio. The guy put significant tornadoes possible in Ohio. That goes up to Michigan.
Okay. Is BAM weather getting overhyped?
That wasn't bad weather too.
Yeah, BAM weather, bruh. Bruh, BAM weather used to be so good, and now with severe weather events, they're just drop off.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, wait, that makes sense. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind.
What?
No, because I pulled a sounding from Paducah, Kentucky, and it showed PDS tornado, but that's expected.
Yeah, that's definitely expected. But no, guys, if you remotely hear us talking about your area being under a PDS tornado sounding, you are likely going to have to keep a very close watch out for tornado warnings or even a tornado emergency because this environment is very ripe for tornadoes in Kentucky and southward. And it gets even better as you go south.
Yeah.
Of course, when you hit the Gulf Coast, there's a limit, but but I still didn't see his post yet. Let me I'm just can oh Ohio and WX did something. He said there are two modes we're watching for tomorrow. Full linear or semi-discrete into linear. 12Z HRRR depicts the second outcome, which could see the 10% hatched brought up. Morning convection could help the system by delivering prefrontals, according to the SPC. In Ohio and WX, if you are for some reason watching this, I am going to show your post because Ohio and WX, it's accurate sometimes. Well, most of the time, I take that back. Yeah. But you can see here, he has circled our area. All right. Indiana, Ohio, down to Kentucky, and this line here. All right. He has circled the entire line. All right. All the way from Northeast Ohio, where we're filming, the prefrontals in Southeast Ohio, and this big-time Boeing segment in Indiana, which those could be, I don't know, in different areas, all right? Obviously, the models don't depict where bow echoes form, but you just get the general trend. There's going to be Boeing segments along this line, and if you encounter one, make sure you're ready for some strong damaging winds. Anyways, Char, is there anything else you want to mention, like about the SPC outlooks and stuff, like about like the mentioning maybe of maybe the enhanced risk?
I do agree with Ohio and WX about the enhanced risk, potentially going more east and potentially even northeast, but mainly east. And I do agree that we could potentially see that overall tornado risk uptrend, and a 10% could go into Ohio, especially for any prefrontal supercells that are especially really discrete.
Yeah, and obviously this isn't going to sound too professional or meteorological or anything, but we have gut feelings that we could see a couple of QLCS tornadoes in the area. So
Honestly, I think we could get a few with the trends. I think we could get a few potentially.
yeah, and that indicates your 5% potential.
Yeah,
So I want to mention before we get off here, which I don't know when do you.
because I do want to talk about day 6 a little bit. Sorry, no,
Yeah,
day 5.
let's talk about day 6. All right, let's talk about day 6 because day 6 looks intense as all heck right now, and it's freaking people out, and we want to clear some of that up right now.
Oh wait, it's day 5. I forgot.
For day 5, yeah.
So it a lot of the same areas under the gun for the same amount of risk, but not the same amount of risk, but the same amount of like confidence level. But in this enhanced 30% area, they are mentioning this far out, which is pretty rare and pretty concerning, but significant tornadoes.
Already.
Yeah.
Already. Dude, look at the European model. Look at this.
Yeah.
Cell.
Yeah. And on the Euro, you can just definitely see over almost all the areas, especially our covering area, especially the Great Lakes. But there's a
Yes.
lot of widespread forcing and a lot of widespread divergence, which is very good if you want severe weather. That's very good.
Yes. Look at this forcing. Look at that.
Yeah, huge.
That cold front is going to have a very big cold wet. That is going to have a very big warm wedge, if you know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
that shoots the warm air up. That is going to be potent. That is going to be bad.
Your low level jet,
Jeez.
your low level jet is showing 70s at knots, almost in 70s.
Jeez. And I'm not going to go too into depth on this or anything, but Ohio had a moderate tornado driven risk on April 2nd and it didn't pan out. But this one does not have convection in the morning. That is highly concerning as hell.
Yeah.
I mean, your low level jet energy is screaming in Ohio.
Yeah.
I think Ohio's gonna be a hot spot for Wednesday.
It's very possible. I honestly, Wednesday, if you actually want my honest opinions, I actually think the lower Ohio Valley is actually going to be your hotspot actually for tornadoes.
Yes, obviously. Down here, yeah.
But I mean,
That's the
for damaging winds and also tornadoes as well, I do think like the Ohio, Indiana area, Michigan will be like another hotspot.
I don't know, man. The damaging wind threat looks very, very bad
Yeah,
across our region alone. I'm not going to go too into depth, but if that low level jet is that strong, we could have widespread 80-mile-per-hour winds. Widespread.
yeah.
That that would be really bad. Fireworks derecho. Just kidding. No. Yeah, fireworks derecho. We had 100-mile-per-hour winds plow through northeast Ohio, so. Yeah, obviously we weren't alive for that, but that was significant, I heard, so. And we did want to show you the SPC outlook actually for that day 5 outlook. Already a level 3 of 5 across portions of the same exact areas from Arkansas to Indiana and in the slight risk region, southern Michigan, all the way to Texas into Ohio. Same areas.
Yeah.
And yes, they're already talking about the possibility of strong tornadoes. So that just shows this could be significant. As people say, we're concerned.
Yeah, we're concerned.
But for real though, we are concerned.
Yeah,
We're very concerned.
yeah, because it's in the weather in the weather community. Concerned is like the low taper fade meme, but we're being real. We are legitimately concerned, like
Being real.
legitimately.
Yes. Yeah, no joking around unless there's a quiet time and then we joke around about the I don't know, memes and stuff, but right now, when there's a severe weather event impending, we got to be on it. We got to be on our feet, and we got to just cover it for you guys.
Exactly.
And they actually did patch out that hail risk a bit more for Illinois. I just noticed that.
I did see that. Yeah.
So, yeah, any cells that develop will have the potential of all hazards tomorrow. And honestly, I'm nervous myself because, I mean, and I'm a really big storm nerd. I'm kind of nervous because
Yeah. I mean, guys, I mean, if we do see 80 isolated, I think we can really see isolated 80 mile per hour wind gusts. That's like EF0, EF1 tornado. So please treat that as a tornado warning if that warning for 80 mile per hour wind gust does get
Yes.
issued.
Yeah. Yeah, do not stand by your window. All right? Do not stand by your window. If that warning comes through, do not stand by your window. All right? It might look calm at first, but it's going to go very downhill very quickly when it arrives to your area.
Yeah.
And also mentioning for Pennsylvania for Monday, there is a risk, all right? I mean, you could see here that that line does continue on the NAM 3K. I wish I could look at this on the HRRR, but it's not in range yet. But you could see here, look at that. That QLCS continues into western Pennsylvania into early Monday. So the severe risk is still there for Pennsylvania, and that is part of our viewing area. And even New York could start getting in on that as we head in towards later on Monday morning. Obviously, me and Char might be in school, might dependent on the damage. But I mean, look at this. Early afternoon, New York, all the way down to Pennsylvania, you have a pretty decent squall line with, I mean, look at these cells, all right? I mean, this is not a solid squall line. Do you notice that, Char? That is not a solid squall line.
Yeah.
And those look semi-discrete, kind of.
Yeah, I feel like this could really be a few semi-discrete cells, which would enhance which not to scare anybody, but semi-discrete cells would kind of enhance your tornado risk.
Yes, it's not going to be this big tornado event. There's not even enough for a F1 tornado, maybe F0 at best. I mean, there's not much tornado fuel at this point on Monday. And that's a good thing, obviously. But this should clear our region as we head into Monday afternoon and early April Fool's morning. And speaking of April Fools, my friends, it's like April Fool's Day. You shouldn't be surprised. We're going to be in the 40s and 30s for a lot of the region.
Yeah.
It's April Fool's Day for the Great Lakes. It's Mother Nature giving us a treat. Not really.
I do want to say your GEFS ensemble run, which we use for your
Look at the 20s.
your mid-level patterns on the 500 millibar and your GEFS, but you can see I think we are getting into that pattern shift where we're going to have troughing in the west and ridging in the east, which is favorable for severe weather.
Yes, it is. And early April is going to be very active across, especially areas um, west of Pennsylvania, west of possibly Ohio, dealing with the biggest risk areas.
Yeah.
And there's a really decent trend. Another thing I did want to mention, Char, was did you notice the second week of April we get cold, like on some models?
Oh yeah, I did notice that, and I also noticed some snow on the backside of a low, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. Here's your April 1st. Here's that really big storm system, which could be a wind outbreak in our area as we head towards April 2nd. That could be really bad with tornadoes as well. And obviously, we go in towards the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, the 8th. But then look, this is your pattern change around the 7th, all right? I mean, look at this, all right? Obviously, this could change, but look at those wind barbs coming out of Canada, all right? This
Yeah.
is going to indicate cold air. The good news is some of this is going to come from the Pacific, so it's not going to be overly cold like in your winter months, but it's going to be cold. And you're going to notice it as we head in towards the second week of April. And then there's just a lot of spread what happens after that. Do we get a ridge in the Central Plains? Do we get a ridge in the East? That's very uncertain.
I think we're gonna get that ridge in the plains in like May.
Yeah. Yeah, and also another thing, that could enhance derecho potential during the late spring and summer months.
That is true.
That this ridge right here, right here in Mexico, that's the one that lifts north. Where it does this year is very uncertain. However, anywhere just on the outside of that would have the potential of seeing those big time bow echoes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just a little long range look for you guys, just a brief description. And I do think we will be warmer than normal. So,
Yeah, your climate models still support above average temperatures all across the continental United States. Wow.
yeah, it could be a hot summer. Could be a hot one.
Yeah.
We could have several heat waves. I'm thinking.
The models are still trending near average to potentially below average across the continental United States, which that would enhance fire weather a little bit. So that's something that we don't know if it's gonna for sure happen since it's a climate model, not like a more resolution model.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see what the FV3 cam model says. Because usually it loves to print supercells.
What model was that?
The FV3, which is a convective allowing model, it's
Oh
notorious
yeah.
for printing supercells.
Yeah, that is probably not the best model to look at because the supercell people are just gonna get hyped up and be really mad when it doesn't go their way.
Yeah, it when it gets to northern Indiana into western Ohio, it breaks up that line to a more discrete mode, which is not going to happen, guys. By the way.
Yeah, that's not gonna. Yeah, I'll just show it for the heck of it, but that's not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
Yeah, once something gets into a line like that, or maybe even like really close semi-discrete, especially with the trough, that doesn't really break apart again. So
What the heck,
yeah,
bro? What in the world? This is funny.
it just becomes discrete.
I mean, it drills into that line, but what the heck? Look at that. Look at how discreet that is.
Yeah,
That's ridiculous.
it's a little bit concerning since it's a cam model, but it's definitely not going to happen.
Yeah, it's trying to get supercells in your area, so but it's not gonna happen. And if it does, we'll be very surprised.
Oh yeah, they're good. The SBC will probably do an emergency 10% hatched.
Yeah. Well, and I did want to mention one more time that the next day 2 SPC outlook isn't until 2 a.m. tomorrow morning. I don't know if anyone's staying up for that, of course, because me and Char will be
Yeah,
this weekend. We'll catch up on our sleep next week, but we will likely see the enhanced be turned in, well, not turned into, but the enhanced bumped eastward to include eastern Ohio, possibly western PA. And in my mind, I wouldn't be surprised to see a moderate risk trying to trail in either.
yeah. If we do get a moderate, that'd be in the Ohio Valley areas. But I can definitely see that enhanced be pushed well east.
Yes. And we are actually 24 hours away from possible development in Illinois and Indiana. So once the 18Z HRRR starts coming in, whenever that'll be, it'll take its good old time probably. But whenever that'll be, that'll probably show some pretty decent stuff. So yeah. We are in Eastern Ohio, Western PA. Don't worry. It's not going to take away the squall line. It's not.
Yeah.
It's just too favorable.
Dude, the FV3 is so laughable. Like it has one fully discrete supercell.
Alright, I'm trying not to break out in laughter right now. That's hilarious. And guys, no hate here, alright? We're just joking around because the FV3 model tends to hype things up, alright? Tends to put this massive tornado outbreak out and everything like that. And it all just turns out to be this big time windbag. I would look at the HRRR
Yeah.
and sometimes the NAM.
Yeah, those are your two most reliable NAM models.
Right.
Now, what is technically recommended is if you look at all the CAM models and make an average, but the FV3
Yes.
right now is an outlier, but so you know.
It's gonna continue to be, probably. It's not gonna stop its discrete bias anytime soon.
It really hates Toledo.
Yeah. Yeah, it shows Toledo getting slabbed.
Yeah, it's done. Yeah.
It's dumb. It is dumb, isn't it?
Yeah.
And all of the National Weather Service offices are mentioning the potential of severe weather, so if they're mentioning it, it's probably confirmed. Now, they are mentioning stuff about the morning convection, but like I said, guys, in our opinions, I don't think it's going to have much of an implication on severe weather, but rather enhance the potential of prefrontal severe weather. I do not think it's going to be a limiting factor.
I wonder, because this is probably just some random HRRR nonsense, but if you look at the 12Z and if you run it to its max on 48 hours, it shows like a redevelopment of rain and storms through Indiana and Ohio.
I was not paying attention to that. On the what? 12Z?
Yeah, I don't know if that's your cold front or if that's just some schematic whatever nonsense.
No, your cold front is that squall line that comes through around 9 p.m. Well, 7 to 9 p.m. for the area,
Yeah.
but I can look at that. Let's like look at that here. Oh, 17Z, stop it.
I forgot we're gonna have 18Z soon.
Yes, we are. And that's perfect.
Okay, so that is not your cold front because I can see on your winds that's not your cold front. Wait, maybe it is. Yeah, that's your cold. Wait, yeah, that those storms are your cold front, I think. Because if you look at your,
It's so intense.
because if you look at like after the squall line, if you run it to its max on the 12Z, you can see on your wind barbs, it shows that cold front with those extra storms or rain.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to see, but since the cold front's pretty much through around that time, I wouldn't think they'd be too severe, but we'll see.
Yeah, they're probably. I mean, they're definitely not going to be severe because there's going to be no environment. But
I mean, maybe a gusty shower or something like that, but I don't think anything too crazy.
but
And
on
maybe a severe storm. We'll see. Maybe that marginal will get bumped west a little. We'll see. But the environment is so crappy. Let me tell you.
I
On
do.
that cold front.
Because this it's kind of concerning how late your front is and how like it's at least HRRR is showing it way behind your main squall line, and that can but that can help say that there's going to be multi rounds and prefrontals.
Yes, and that's the exact thing I was hinting at. That's the exact thing me and Char were hinting at. Multiple rounds of severe weather possible. In one place, you could have several rounds of severe weather tomorrow.
Yeah.
I would say starting in southern Illinois around 2 or 3 p.m. or 18Z. All right, we're just going to use Zulu.
Yeah.
Areas further east will obviously be towards evening, like what we mentioned. Like Illinois, probably like 2, 3, 4 p.m. Indiana, 5, 6, perhaps 7 p.m. And then Ohio, 8, 9, 10 p.m. And that's that windbag that could potentially become a derecho.
Yeah. I do want to mention one thing though.
What's up?
So mainly for us since we're forecasters for the Great Lakes thing, but tonight I don't know if you're gonna be staying up, but I am. But we're
I'm
gonna
gonna be staying up.
um
Yeah, I am.
so we should probably pay attention to your water vapor satellite for that dry air. That where that
Yes.
dry air slot is for the morning convection.
Yes. Yes, that is a very good point. That is a very good point. Because that shows how cold your cloud tops are, and the colder they are, or I'm sorry, the warmer they are, the drier the atmosphere.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's a really big dry slot tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that could come with some sunshine. And even if you don't get sunshine, that dry slot is still going to allow for convection and destabilization. There's going to be a lot of forcing.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not like strong forcing, but it's a lot of forcing. Not as strong as Wednesday, though. Wednesday, there could be an outbreak of damaging winds everywhere.
Yeah.
Not saying this can't be, but Wednesday looks like a big time day. Especially being in the afternoon and evening.
100. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that concerns me because if you look on the European model, it's linear. But if you look at the hold on. If you look at the GFS, it takes a squall line through early morning on April 3rd. So timing is a little bit up in the air right now. But we can definitely say that we're going to have a significant severe weather threat no matter what, because instability is holding on with this much of forcing, guys, even into the overnight hours. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
And some models do show that instability dissipating. No, that's probably going to reappear once shorter range models come in for it.
Yeah.
We're just waiting on the HRRR 18Z. I would assume it's going to be in soon. I would assume it's going to start loading in soon.
Should we stay live for that?
We should, yes.
Yeah.
We should.
I agree.
Because the more updates, the better.
Yes. Your rat model is really lacking behind. That's interesting.
What do you mean?
Like the at least on College Edu page, the rat model it usually updates every hour and it's stopped at 15Z. It went from 12 to 15Z and it stopped.
Bruh.
Uh,
Bruh.
okay, so and the rat model's pretty useful for observed sounding, especially for Cleveland.
Yeah, they're not good for future soundings, though.
Yeah, but I can just use the
Yeah.
NAM.
It does show that squall line, though, so I'm pretty impressed. That squall line is pretty much confirmed at this point.
Yeah, it's pretty much bound to happen at this point.
Unless something drastically happens, which is a 0% chance.
Yeah, or if there's a cap, an unexpected cap.
Yeah, that is not going to happen
Yeah.
because it really cools as it moves in here. And the cooler the air, the less the cap, right?
Yeah.
So that's producing very hazardous conditions, and pretty much every storm will have the potential of at least one threat.
Yeah.
So check in on your loved ones, make sure your pets are all right, and make sure you prepare for power outages, because that line, when it comes through, is likely going to have some crazy wind gusts. That could probably knock down trees and power lines.
I think you're
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
on the NAM 12 one, which is kind of good, which is it's pretty Convective Chronicles uses it. But your warm sector actually uptrended.
Yeah, it did.
Because it's showing 60 dews now in like Ohio and Michigan, which the National Weather Services for Detroit and Cleveland are only predicting upper 50s. So yeah, which
The NAM Nest, or the NAM 12 camp?
the NAM the
Camp.
the NAM 12.
Okay. The 12Z, you said?
Yeah, 12Z NAM. You can see that your warm sector definitely uptrended, which is if you don't want severe weather, that's not a good. Then you do not want that.
Yes. And you're going to feel it heading out the door later in the day on Sunday. Like tomorrow afternoon, if you head out, it's going to feel like summer.
Yeah.
It could in some areas, seriously though. Like southern Illinois, it could feel like just plain summer. Of course, without the leaves on the trees, obviously, but I think we could see temperatures into Michigan getting near 80 if there's some sunshine.
Also, your NAM 12, for that cold front, it's showing enhanced vorticity in the Michigan, Ohio, and Indiana border, and that can actually enhance your tornado risk up there. So I would not be surprised if your 2% gets more pushed northeast and your 5% gets pushed more northeast.
Yeah, that's a very good mention. Because your vorticity is prolific. And I know there's a lot of people out there. I don't have to guess. I know there's a lot of people out there that fear they're going to lose their life because of tornadoes, all right? And that obviously is understandable. Make sure, if you do not have a basement, to get into an interior room on the lowest floor of a building and away from windows, all right? So if you don't have a basement, get into a closet on the first floor of your house.
Yes.
Or something like that. Do not stay in your vehicle, as a tornado, if it's strong enough, could pick up your vehicle and blow it. Or don't stand by windows, because that could shatter glass and you'd be pretty much injured.
Yeah, also don't go under overpasses, which it might seem like it's safe, but trust me, it is not.
That is probably the worst possible thing you could do for a tornado.
Yeah.
That is just the dumbest thing you could do.
Also, Ethan, I want to tell you on the NAM 12, your cape uptrended.
The Cape uptrended?
Yeah, northern lower Ontario now has 1,000 joules per kilogram.
Oh my gosh.
And we in our area have like almost 2,000. At least 1,500, I should say.
That's insane. That's exact fuel for a mesoscale convective system. That is exactly what you need.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised to have the slight risk as far north as central Michigan. Is it? Is the slight risk in central Michigan?
Let me check really quick. Day 2, come on, day 2. Yes, it is, just barely.
Well, it's probably gonna go way up in there. Central Michigan, and your significant supercell composite is a level 4.
I saw that. And on your NAM 12, if you're looking at College Edu page on forecast hour 42, look at the wind vectors specifically in northeastern Ohio. That's favorable for QLCS and prefrontals right there.
Yes, yeah, you can see they're not in line. The blue and the black wind barb isn't in line.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a surefire sign of QLCS tornado potential. And your energy helicity index has gone up as well.
That's definitely a sign of your QLCS tornadoes.
Yeah, yeah, we have a really rough night coming up.
Yeah.
We have a really active night coming up. And if you guys have gut feelings of thunderstorms, listen to that gut feeling and prepare.
Yeah.
Because these storms will go severe almost instantly when they form. Right? Like, when one storm pops up in Illinois, 5 minutes later, it'll be that kind of day where there's already a severe thunderstorm warning. Or even a tornado warning.
I'm gonna do some I'm gonna do some detective work because I'm gonna click on some random soundings in front of the line because I'm gonna see your storm slinky storm motion. I'm gonna see if it's like aligned for linear, which it probably will, but or more semi-discrete favorability.
Yeah, that's a good idea because storm mode is really going to matter, especially on tornado potential. Even so, there is still potential of QLCS tornadoes no matter what. That is not out of the question. Let's just ignore the crap vaccine at this point because it's not going to do much to limit severe weather. So why look at it? But look at this. 20Z, you have several rounds of storms. Illinois, Indiana, possibly Ohio. These could be thunderstorms in Ohio. And those could be severe. Those could be severe way early in the afternoon, right? Right, Char? Do you think these storms in Ohio could be on the strong to severe side?
In the morning.
No, at 20Z.
It's possible. I also do want to say for south from Michigan and eastern Michigan. So I did the sounding thing, your storm slinky. I did some comparing and from Ohio down to the south, it supports a QLCS, but it actually supports semi-discrete in Michigan. It's a different.
That's a good observation.
Yeah.
That's a bad observation, but it's a great observation you made, Char.
Yeah. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really looks semi-discrete. And, I mean, you don't even have to take a sounding to tell this is going to be semi-discrete. I mean, look at that. I mean, this is a line, but you can look at the increased reflectivity and say, yeah, this is semi-discrete.
Yo, did you see the NAM 12 storm relative felicity? Your 0 to 3.
Oh, boy. What is it?
It uptrended to 350 plus.
Oh, my goodness. And HREF truthers probably saying that NAM is drunk.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it might be, but
It could be very yeah.
this thing's cape is insane. Storm relative helicity in Ohio at 0Z 400, almost 400. Storm relative helicity.
Yeah, your bulk wind shear in literally Columbus, Ohio is 74 knots, which is your max it's showing.
Yeah, that's just significant. That's pure significant shear.
Yeah.
I think Columbus could have a tornado. I mean, I'm not obviously going to pinpoint areas, but 74 knots of shear and thunderstorms, any storm that forms will be able to produce tornadoes down there
Yeah.
in Columbus, unfortunately.
Your 70 dew points. Well, you're very much isolated. 70 dew points now reach Memphis, Tennessee.
Jeez.
So that's a really good push north. And I think that actually improves. I think that's a sign that your low level jet improved, isn't it? Because it's pulling more moisture.
I definitely think so. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Look at that. Is this serious right now? At 10 p.m. on Sunday. Is this serious right now? Dang. Let's blow through. As this blows through with a 60 knot low level jet.
Yeah,
Wow.
60 knots, and there's like a pinpoint of 60 right in Columbus. Columbus. This could be wrong, but definitely stay weather aware.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is the NAM doing NAM things, but I mean, take this seriously because severe weather is very likely, and if there's 70 knots of shear, then it's going to go down pretty bad, probably. We're already 4 hours in on the 18Z. It's showing less rain for us. It's showing less rain for us later in the day, Char, just for Northeast Ohio standards.
That's not good. At least, well, that's good for severe weather, but for people who have storm anxiety, not a good trend.
Not good. Not good.
And I'll be honest, it's normal. Just like literally what Ethan said like 10 minutes ago. It's normal to have storm anxiety. I have it sometimes, and it's normal.
Yeah, and even the storm dudes, I'm sure like Reed Timmer, Corey Jerkin and people like that, I'm sure they have storm anxiety.
Oh yeah,
Especially there's like moderate risk or something.
I remember watching a what do you call it, the Storm Chasers TV show, and I know Reed Timmer during that Missouri tornado, or maybe like Mississippi was he was like scared. So I mean, your instincts definitely kick in whether you like it or not. It's just who we are.
Yeah. Was that a car horn?
You heard that?
Yeah, I heard that.
I checked out my window. There's nothing.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I hear car horns at night, and it's so weird. And last night
Oh yeah, 3 a.m.
I honestly really was experiencing some weird stuff. I really was. See that door right there? That door was cracked when I woke up.
Wow, that's crazy.
It is. And we were just joking about it and stuff. But
I'm gonna see if Weather Bell has more loaded on 18Z.
yeah, because this is taking its good old time. It's still on 6 hours. What's taking the wrap so long?
I think the wrap's glitching because I remember the HREF truther said the wrap was an outlier, so it might be fixing itself.
Maybe. Yeah, the wrap has been weird.
Which is not good for meso analysis because the SBC relies on that for meso analysis.
Yeah, maybe that's why they didn't put the enhanced risk in our area yet. I think they should. I'm going to be honest with you, Char. Do you agree with this that the enhanced risk should be in Northeast Ohio?
I mean, I mean, the trends have definitely supported it. I think it could go. I'm definitely leaning towards it, but I mean, it could go either way.
Yeah.
I'm actually pretty surprised they did not extend that significant wind 15% more northeast. I'm kind of surprised.
Yeah, that's why we're definitely staying up tonight.
Yeah.
We're gonna be on this thing.
Hopefully they don't. Huh?
We're now in the 24-hour window almost.
Yeah. Hopefully they don't troll us tonight like last time they trolled us for 20 minutes.
Yeah. A forecaster had a bathroom emergency.
Yep.
And I sent them me, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trying to hold it in but can't do it. 7 hours in. It's taking its good. Is Weather Bell even better yet?
Let me see. On Weather Bell, we are 8 hours in, and wow, it takes that clearing like it totally displaces it from the southeast to northwest.
What?
It totally displaces it.
The clearing?
No, I'm gonna show you. Wait, hold on. Let me like zoom in, to a bit more better sector. Great Lakes. Here we go. Come on. But look at that. It totally displaces it to more.
So that we're in it.
Actually, it kind of clears us.
Yeah, it does.
But that's a huge displacement from the southeast to north. That's interesting.
So the less rain we get tonight and tomorrow combined, the worse our severe threat will be. And that will determine if the moderate risk gets put in Ohio.
I honestly, I don't think that's gonna happen. I think a moderate risk is gonna be in your lower Ohio Valley area, in my opinion, of course.
Yeah, that's my thinking too, but I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens. Storm Prediction Center sometimes pulls the trigger.
I wish day 2 wasn't that late, man. But you know what?
Day 2 was ridiculously late.
I mean, that does, and it also kind of sucks because literally right after it, you get your 06Z models, which I think is weird because they don't like take that in first and then update.
It's stupid. It's dumb.
But wait a minute, wouldn't it be late? Because tomorrow will be day 1, so when is it actually gonna update?
20Z is day 1 upgrade.
Okay, so 20Z would be when? Like
4 p.m.
Well, I mean like day 1 for tomorrow.
Oh.
Like when does that happen?
2 a.m.
Are we sure? Because I remember last night it was earlier than day 2.
Wait a second. Let me think.
Wait,
See.
I can check the feed on Discord. Let me check. I can actually check.
The next day 1 outlook, like today's outlook for the thunderstorms today, comes at 20Z. And the next day 2 outlook comes by 6Z. 06Z. So I don't know.
Okay.
It'll come out right at 2 a.m. I think.
Okay, it comes out. It comes out at last night it came out at 1:49 a.m. Your usual.
And it didn't show at 2 a.m. Waited 20 minutes to put it on the dash.
No, I mean but then your next day 1 outlook comes at around like 1:30, 1:40 a.m.
Yeah.
So that's our next.
I'm keeping tabs on the HRRR.
Yeah.
Because the 18Z will tell potentially if we're going to have significant severe weather, which I think we will. So
Also, guys, we could be live tonight, maybe, but
We
we
might.
but we will keep you updated on the Great Lakes social media account on X or Twitter.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm honestly surprised the enhanced risk wasn't bumped. Like I said before, I'm surprised it wasn't bumped east, to be honest, but well, I don't know.
I mean, it was bumped a tad, but it didn't even reach Columbus.
Yeah, that's not east at all.
Yeah.
Maybe like 5.2 miles east. Yeah, scooch, and then it's done. Yeah, so hopefully we're rooting for some excitement around whenever the SPC outlook comes out for those storm geeks out there, which I'm a storm geek, so.
Yeah.
Hey, it still shows that supercell in Oklahoma
Uh-oh.
in for 5Z tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow, wow.
Want to see it? There it is.
Yeah.
Looking intense, that's for sure. Yeah, if you guys are watching, like, this is a Great Lakes channel, but if for some reason you guys come across us and you guys are watching, I just want to let you guys know for the sake of this, be weather aware in Oklahoma because you guys are under a severe risk for tonight, specifically.
Yeah, a very limited tornado risk. Honestly, if the cap breaks, it could be greater, but your main threat is hail. That's your main threat.
Not only just hail, but very large sized hail. We could be talking about baseball sized hail, maybe tennis ball.
Yeah. Also, what even is it doing? Like around like 1 a.m. It has like storm cells, not severe, in like what do you call it? Northern Indiana into southern Michigan. What is it doing?
I see that. Is the let me see the instability. Nah, those are just showers.
Yeah.
Those are just the crapvection showers, which it's a lot more scattered each model run. That's a bad sign if you don't want severe weather.
Yeah, definitely a trend you want to monitor.
Yeah, yeah, and even on this model, I don't know if you noticed this just now, but it kind of tries to congeal this part to this part.
I see what you mean.
Interesting. Maybe it forms early. Maybe it forms earlier. We'll see though. I don't know. Maybe my thinking's wrong right now.
Yeah, I mean, your warm front really tries to clear.
Your
It's
warm front is way to the north.
well, yeah, but I mean, like it's really trying to clear that convection down where in the Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania region.
Yeah, it's actually our friend if we want severe weather, and it's not your friend if you don't want severe weather.
Yeah, because the more this front really tries to clear, that just means more clearing, and that's more instability. Which
Okay, I'm sorry, but wow. Okay, 14 hours in, wow. What I'm seeing is just pure insane. Show you. Look at that. Look at that reflectivity too.
oh yeah, is that a bow echo in Missouri?
Yes, that is a bow echo in Missouri with a ton of reflectivity.
Wow.
Maxed out almost. Yeah, guys, when you see that backward C shape coming for your area, you know it's going to get windy. Like a little windy, but it's going to get really windy. That was just a joke.
So tomorrow, if we get bow echoes anywhere in the severe risk, especially our covering region, that can easily get up to isolated 80 mile per hour wind gusts.
Or maybe 90. I don't know. Well,
I don't think there's enough mixing for that.
yeah, that is true. Yeah.
Unless you get like the most intense updraft in history and the most best bow echo in history, then yeah, sure. But
Yeah, I don't know about 90 mile per hour winds. I know about maybe 80 though.
yeah, I think
With some
80.
hurricane force wind gusts possible.
Yeah, isolated possible 80 is definitely possible. I said possible 2 times.
Possible 80 mile per hour winds is possible.
Yep.
And look at your cold pool. Look at your cold pool right in here.
Yeah.
That's gonna be problematic in the early morning hours. We'll be tracking that too. I mean,
We
closer to
will, yeah. We will. Yeah, look at those cells in Iowa.
those cells in Iowa kind of look a little robust. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, those are in.
Whoa,
Yeah, those are in our cover region. We may have to be. We could do an overnight live stream for severe weather, possibly.
possibly. Because the instability isn't that good in Iowa. It's only very elevated. But look
Yeah.
at southern Iowa. Look at southern Iowa.
Oh yeah, isn't that? That's like yeah.
But the problem, you got CIN, or your convective inhibition.
Yep. That's your cap for anybody wondering.
Yep. And you got negative 83 there. And as you go further south, you get even stronger cap. An even stronger cap as you head further south. Look at that. Oh, it went off screen, but Oklahoma, 200, negative 200 joules per kilogram of capping.
Wow.
Yeah, that's going to prevent some storms from developing. And look, and if any storms do get going in that impossible cap, we could have a big tornado.
Yeah,
Big tornado event.
yeah, that's
But I
the
don't think
thing.
it's gonna
Yeah, because if you did not have that cap in Oklahoma, I bet you right now there'd be a 10 sig.
happen. Or 15.
Yeah, possibly that too. For anybody wondering if you're not a weather nerd, which is completely fine. I mean, we encourage it, of course, but if you don't know what a cap is, it's like a lid on the atmosphere. It prevents storms from forming, but if your
Yeah.
environment can cool down in your upper levels, and um and you can get those storms that yeah.
Yeah. This thing just won't quit. Holy cow. This Boeing segment is still going at 12Z. Look at this thing.
Yeah.
That is just a full-blown QLC. Well, MCS at that point.
Yeah,
This is
honestly,
not
if you look at hour 14, you can see it there. It definitely supports a bookend tornado on the northern side.
yes. Like right here.
Yeah,
Is that where you were looking?
yeah, that's exactly where I was looking.
Mm-hmm. And you see that backward C shape? That mustache shape?
Yeah, that's
Top
your
When you see this mustache shape like this, you could have QLCS tornadoes.
okay.
That's
So
just
by the way, hour 20 it kills the bow, but actually it creates an outflow boundary maybe, but in Indiana, in Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio, those storms still do form. But also your Wisconsin storms are still pretty good.
look at that. I mean, yeah, look at your Wisconsin storms. These could be producing some strong weather.
Yes, 40 to 50 mile per hour wind gusts and maybe some scattered 60s.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Bro, the supercell could cause it up in Wisconsin is trash.
I mean,
Bro,
this,
but
this,
look at your storm relative helicity.
yeah, you're
So
not
when
going to
we
get.
had surface-based cape, we would have surface-based supercells in
I.
tornadic activity.
You know what? Those cells actually survive Lake Michigan into Michigan, so I would not be surprised if we could actually see some water spouts in the early in the
Yeah,
yeah in the, like 8 a.m. hours in Lake Michigan.
I'm comparing models right now. It did show that Boeing segment continuing. But look at the crap action. Pay attention to the crap action
Yeah.
in Ohio and Kentucky. And then switch it over from 12Z to 18Z.
Wow. Wow. That's scattered as frick.
Yes, it is. And that's not good for people that have storm anxiety.
I'm gonna see the simulated what do you call it, satellite for that.
Yeah, I'm pinpointing areas for development on this run.
Dude, the simulated satellite has scattered very low cold cloud tops. It's very dry though. Everywhere else it's very dry.
That is fantastic, all right? I mean, I'm a storm nerd, all right? And I think that's fantastic. But for the people with the storm anxiety, don't worry, it'll be all right. Just, keep an eye on the radar and take precautions if necessary.
Yeah, this is not a high end event. Just so you know, it's not going to be
It's a high-end event for wind. Well, I would say,
maybe. It's like a mid end for wind.
yeah, it's a bit of a middle end event for wind. 16Z. 16Z. Look at that. Look at that in Missouri.
Yeah,
Just a single cell. Just a single cell. Look at that thing. That could cause problems.
but I'm a bit suspicious about your atmosphere recovery though for that. A little bit suspicious. Wow, that's
I mean,
good. That's
this model has it, but
that's a really good recovery behind that. That's actually pretty concerning.
yeah,
Literally.
it is. It is.
Which a pretty an atmosphere a warm sector recovery does support a multi-round thing.
And look at your vertically integrated liquid. I mean, I could zoom in here.
Oh, look at that! That's a hailer right there,
Jeez, that
dude.
would that would produce some really big hail.
That's like a huge fu to the Southwest St. Louis Metro.
Yeah, that would cause damage. That would cause dents in the car
Yeah,
and
Prote-
broken windows.
yeah. If you're anywhere in the hail risk, especially in your hatch for tomorrow, tonight, and tomorrow, protect your car outside property and windshields. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, make sure to keep your car in the garage.
And if you don't have one, then a tarp maybe foam. I don't know,
Yeah.
or just wing it.
Yep.
Oh my, whoa. Okay, that's crazy.
What? What just happened?
On your hour 24, it got the morning convection got way more scattered.
Yeah, it did. Holy cow.
Also, on hour 24, dude, look at South Central Illinois. Look at that cell.
Yeah, jeez, that thing is massive.
And you still have a discrete supercell north of Chicago. What?
Nuts. The HRRR is spitting out supercells for Wisconsin now. I see.
I swear, if imagine if it does what the FB3 says, that'd be crazy.
Ayo, ayo.
Yo, oh my God! Look at Missouri. Whoa, dude, that's a 10 sig right there. That's screaming 10 sig right there.
Exactly.
That screams 10 sig. That screams 15 sig if the environment's right. That screams 15 sig if the environment's right.
Yeah. I mean, wow. This could be a cell capable of long track tornadoes.
Yeah, long track tornadoes, and I once again, I don't like to. I'm not trying to scare you. This can be wrong, of course,
Yeah.
but that supports a strong tornado right there. I'm sorry to
Yes,
say.
it does. And even this one.
Yeah.
If you zoom in even closer, you can see that sneaky little black line right there. That's updraft.
Yeah.
That's
Even the
updraft track.
yeah, even your semi discretes can be pretty long track, strong tornado potential.
Yeah.
The more north you go, of course, into our covering area, the way more north, like north central Illinois, north central Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania, well, north central Ohio, and more obviously more north, your tornado risk does go down a little bit.
Yes, it does. And look, it continues on hour 26. Holy cow!
Okay. That's definitely a 15 sig right there.
Well, how about this one?
Yeah, yeah, that is a 15 sig environment right there.
that is a completely
And dude,
uncalled for run.
and if you I cannot talk, but if you like zoom out a little bit, it has like a whole area of clearing in front of it because those storms like literally in front of it are like to the north.
And look, that clearing developed something in Indiana.
Yeah, yeah,
And look at that dry slot. Look at this cell in Indiana. Obviously, it doesn't have updraft helicity or anything, but it's a cell and it needs to be watched in this dry slot. As long as it's in the dry slot, you gotta watch it. Well, in the dry slot in the afternoon. Alright, this is getting out of hand.
yeah. Wow, that's a 15 sig. I'm calling it right now. We're going moderate. I think
Is that debris ball?
that could be a debris ball. Oh my
God.
god. Oh my god. Okay, so oh my god. There's prefrontals in Ohio. There's prefrontals. There's prefrontals. There's prefrontals.
On what hour?
On 28. So, well, not in Ohio, but in like the Ohio border, Indiana.
Look at that. Yeah. I mean, you could see that very well. And look at the squall line. And look, there's updraft helicity tracks here too.
Yeah, and look at the clearing, by
Strong
the way.
tornadoes are definitely strong tornadoes are definitely possible if you live anywhere where we're talking about right now.
Look at the clearing in Ohio. That's
Oh my
just
gosh, that's that. Nah. It's gonna be a big day for
wind.
severe.
Yeah, wind severe.
Yeah. Oh, and also, you might want to keep an eye on this down here in Missouri and Arkansas.
Yeah,
This screams 10 sig.
yeah.
This whole entire, that whole cluster. That's a problem. Alright, let's see what hour 28 has for us. Several prefrontals in Indiana.
Hour 29 has the best signal for a QLCS in Michigan. Like, it curves.
Yo,
That's a really good signal.
yo.
Wait, also,
What in the world is that?
wait, Ethan, look to your right. Is that like a bean rain shower? That's like a bean.
Yeah, look at that.
Also, by the way, there's more convection behind in the St. Louis area. There's more convection behind.
Yeah, there is. And this one looks to have the most damaging wind potential and tornado potential. The good news is that in the St. Louis region, you guys should be fine. But down here, like in southern Missouri, you guys have a really good risk of strong tornadoes. And they can be long tracked.
Yeah,
Violent.
maybe not violent because violent's like a high risk day, but
That is true.
also Cincinnati, you might want to watch out because those prefrontal cells, plural, are for you as well. At least for the HRRR run.
What's up? Sorry about that.
I was talking about how there's many prefrontals for Cincinnati.
Oh yeah, there are several Look at this thing though. I mean,
And the hour 30 the prefrontals are in Ohio, up and down the line.
But look at the updraft. There's an updraft helicity.
Right for Cincinnati.
Wow.
That 10 sig is definitely
Unexpected.
your enhanced risk is expanding north and east. It's more likely.
Yeah, it's probably gonna do something like this. I bet. I bet it's gonna do something like that. I bet. And look over here.
Yeah.
Look at that.
I mean, that still screams at least 10 sig. Still.
Yeah, it does. This whole thing does. This whole thing on the southern flank.
Yeah.
Alright, here's hour 31.
Oh, wow. That's getting close to us.
Yeah, it is. And it's 1Z. Look at that squall line. Char? You might want to look at this. 2Z.
Uh-oh. Yeah. So prefrontals in Ohio, Indiana are definitely uptrending significantly.
Which increases the tornado potential.
I definitely think your tornado risk is gonna be relatively increased, and I do think your enhanced risk will be pushed east.
Yes. 100%. If it's not by tomorrow morning, I don't know what they're doing. I mean, this line is just screaming severe weather. And these prefrontals. And also, if you look back in Indiana, Char, looky here.
Wow.
QLCS Taurus. Alright, hour 33. No. Oh, yep. Hour 33. Blasting through our area.
Dude, look at that. Dude, it's bean. Look at that.
Do you see that?
Do you see those beans?
Yes, I do. We need to keep an eye on those. Though, do you think those could cause problems?
tornadic wise, it's very possible.
And look, there's your main line. That's gonna blow through with damaging winds. That's just almost certain. Char, look. Kentucky.
Yeah.
Look, still screams tornado potential for QLCS Tor. And guys, if you are tuning in right now, we are looking at the 18ZH Triple R, our severe weather threat.
Bro. Oh, forgot it. No. You can continue because I'll tell you what later.
No, go ahead.
On hour 33, look at the Indiana and Illinois border behind the line. Look at that one. There's still redevelopment.
And there's redevelopment behind the cold front. How insane is that?
Well, actually, that's right along the cold front because I think your initial line escapes the cold front.
Oh yeah, that is true. And that also just tells how strong the winds will be.
Yeah. Look at Michigan as well. There's redevelopment in Michigan.
Oh my gosh. Look at that. These could be strong. These could be strong.
Ontario, you're gonna get some of this line.
What'd you say?
I said Ontario, you're gonna get it.
Yeah, Ontario's gonna get slammed. Holy cow. I think Ontario's gonna get a really bad burst of wind.
Okay, hour 34. Okay, that redevelopment dies. But there's more in Arkansas.
Yeah, there is. I noticed that. That's right along the cold front.
Yeah.
That's right along the cold front. I'm gonna change the sector view now since we're starting to get out of our viewing or our Midwest area, but
By the way,
look at this.
prefrontals extend into Pennsylvania.
And they do. Yes, they do on this model run. I mean, look at that. You're talking about a nocturnal threat, guys. You guys really need to take this seriously. This is at 12 to 1 a.m. in the morning in Pennsylvania. Damaging winds in eastern Ohio with several prefrontals likely producing all hazards.
Honestly, I might need to stay up Sunday night despite if there's going to be school.
Yeah, it looks intense.
Because if those prefrontals do something for us, then that can be a bit of a problem.
Those prefrontals can produce tornadoes for sure. I mean, if you look at your storm relative helicity by the time it gets into Pennsylvania, obviously it's a bit weaker, but I mean, you still have plenty of it.
Yeah.
400 joules per kilogram. Isn't that crazy? Still, in Pennsylvania, 400 joules per kilogram of storm relative helicity. Isn't that just pure insanity?
Yeah.
And your surface base cape is only going to be 100, your surface base cape's only going to be 100 to 200 joules per kilogram. But your most unstable cape should be able to keep this going for a little bit.
Yeah.
And I also did want to mention for later viewers that joined in, I did mention at the beginning that we could see a derecho out of this, all right? And a derecho is a long-lived line of showers and thunderstorms that produce 60-mile-per-hour winds plus for 200 miles or more. So it has to be confirmed wind damage, which I think we won't have a problem with seeing. morning across New York and Pennsylvania, but it's still healthy down here in southern Pennsylvania and northern West Virginia. Do you see that? Around
Yeah.
7Z chart. It's still healthy. Holy cow, this thing won't stop. This thing is a beast. Well, it's forecast to be, but I think it will be. Hour 38. Hour 38, it starts to weak. Look at that.
Yeah.
That doesn't have an updraft helicity signature, but man, if that's a prefrontal that actually gets going, that would produce damaging waves. I mean, do you see that? That's kind of has that bowing curvature.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys gotta pay attention to the small details. I mean, obviously, we have this model run here, but why we're zooming in is because there's so many small details that could make for a really impactful storm. And you might not even know about it unless you zoom in. So, yeah, you gotta pay attention to the small details, right, Char?
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah, the 18Z triple R is going to keep going, but it's out of our viewing area as we head in towards early Monday morning. Oh, wait. Hold on. What's that?
That's your cold front.
Line of shout. A secondary.
But I mean, look at
Wait,
look out at full, because it actually increases. An hour an hour 48 it increases. You might need a refresh.
Okay.
Because it's probably going to be sub-severe, but those rain showers on our...
Rain showers could be gusty. They could be gusty.
And there's a new mesoscale discussion.
For what?
Let me see.
The Central Plains?
For heavy snow.
Oh my gosh. It's a real shocker there. But, hey, Char.
Yeah.
I do have to go, and I kind of do want to enjoy the outdoors, and my mom said that she wants me to, so I have to get off here, unfortunately. I don't know if you are, but just make sure to tell everyone about the severe weather threat once more, because there's probably a lot more people that joined in since we were talking before. But I mean, I do have to go, so I guess do whatever you.
Yeah, it's okay.
But we are going to have plenty of time to chat.
Oh yeah.
All right. I'll talk to you later, man.
Yeah. Bye bye.
All right. Peace.
Okay. So basically what we're getting from this, it's that we're probably going to see the 5% extended in central Ohio. Your overall tornado threat. I definitely think we're probably going to see, if this verifies, and especially if the NAM 3 agrees with it, then your hold on, let me go to your precipitation simulated reflectivity. Then, especially if you can get these guys going, becoming semi-discrete or especially staying discrete south of the St. Louis metro. I mean, really south of St. Louis. This definitely screams the potential for a 10% significant risk of tornadoes. And it definitely screams an extension of your 10%. But I mean, it definitely does say, hey, we might see this wow. your 15 significant risk of tornadoes extended into this specific area for prefrontal cells. In this area where they stay relatively discrete, especially. So that's kind of what's happening. But yeah, so that's what's kind of happening right now. So overall, we are probably going to see severe weather. It's a pretty good threat that we will see severe weather throughout the whole covering area, even into Canada. Your ice storm and snowstorm will continue to plow through this area, Michigan and Canada as well. But your good news here, at least with your HRRR, is that it looks like it has downtrended for your multi-round thing. It's for our covering area. You're still potentially looking at a multi-round event over here, which does extend a little bit into our covering area. So our really southwest portions, a multi-round severe weather event is definitely still possible. But it looks like way less significant because it looks like your atmosphere doesn't really recover that much. I feel like tomorrow, not tomorrow. I feel like Wednesday could be a bit more bigger. But it looks like you have trended in a way where you're at least going to get less robust prefrontal supercells in this region. Less robust, which means lesser the chance of tornadoes, but there's still prefrontal supercells. And then if we take in that really good environment, it's not really a good environment, but if they take it up to its maximum potential, you definitely could see an increased risk of tornadoes, maybe like a 5%. It's very possible, specifically for over here. But yeah, here's your redevelopment. But it almost looks like it almost looks like a cold pool type thing. So I don't know. Your total precipitation total, I do want is that you do have a relatively good flooding threat down here, especially over here. A relatively good flooding threat. So we might see somewhere down over here potentially isolated slight risks of flash flooding or excessive rainfall is very possible. An extension up north also is possible of your marginal. So what I'm expecting straight line damaging winds up to anywhere from 60 at the least to 70 at the max, maybe 75, with isolated, especially in your most bowing segments, which a bowing segment is like on a radar when your storm looks like a backward C. If your wind's really pushing out, isolated 80 with those is possible, and I guess you can say it cannot be ruled out. So yeah, stay tuned.